Welcome to the Other Side Podcast. I'm your host, Trey Starr, and this is episode number 1. And I got a special guest here today named Nick Carrigan, a guy I've known for a little bit now. And we're talking about life. We're talking about life experiences, man. We're talking about a struggle, the struggles in life that we've overcame, that we've now made it to the other side of, and how life is so great on the other side of these struggles, on the other side of these pains that we've been through in life. And that's what the podcast is all about, man, making it to the other side and being a better version of yourself and living a better life. Stay tuned for more content, man.
There's gonna be one thing that they can't dispute. It has nothing to do with talent. It has nothing to do with skill. It's gonna be because I willed this dream to life. All the dark times, you become a better you on the other side. The Other Side Podcast. Trey.
It's like it feels so good knowing we've got to this point from everything we've been through. Mm-hmm. We just, like, even in that moment when I got down and started and proposed, I she started crying and I started crying. Because like I said, I was, in my mind, it's like we've been through so much. I'd never imagined we'd get to this point. Mm-hmm. So
and then all of a sudden we're here. We're in that moment.
Yep. We live together. Our son's healthy.
Got a good job, making good money.
That's all I could ever ask for. So
I feel like, just from what we've talked off camera before, it was a process, because I know you were going through some things before, and we had some conversations. You were like, this is what I want to do. I don't know what she wants to do. We're on two different pages, but then we're here now, and it's like you guys are clicking. You're on the same page. You're getting your life together.
Absolutely.
Instead of doing whatever, messing around individually.
Yeah. It definitely took a long time. I think, we were apart for over a year.
With a kid.
Yeah, with a kid. It got to a point, where he was born in May, so I didn't get to meet him for like the first 3 months of his life or anything. So, it was just, it definitely felt longer than a year. But it took about a year. And like I said, I stayed patient. There were times it was harder, but for the most part, I stayed patient.
See, that's what I was telling you at work, man. You got to TTP that, man. You got to trust the process. It might not look great. It might be ugly. You might feel depressed or like, I don't know what's going to happen next. But like you're in the process. Yeah. And you got to see it through. Go with the flow of whatever life is presenting you at that moment. It's like, keep walking. Keep taking that next step. Because you never know what you're going to get to. It might be bad now. You might be struggling now, but you keep going, you keep walking, keep just going through life. You're going to get to the other side of that struggle, the other side of that pain or whatever you're dealing with. And it's always better on the other side. You just got to make it to there.
Yeah, the whole time it was just like, I always had it in my head. It's like, even if this doesn't work out, I'm staying patient and hoping it will. I'm working towards it. But even if it doesn't, in my head, it was like, it's going to be okay. It's going to work out regardless. Yeah. So, just having that mentality, having that mindset kind of helped me the whole time. Like I said, I struggled with it the entire time, but having that mindset was kind of like, whatever happens. But I just know in the end it'll work out, because it always works out.
It has to.
Like, you can go through some of the worst stuff, but it'll eventually always work out. Always.
That's how I live my life. And I know some people, like, I get some pushback on the things that I say and everything, but it's like evidence to the contrary based on my experience in my life and how I perceive my life. Is like everything has been leading up to this moment in time. The good, the bad, the ugly, the depression, the suicidal thoughts and tendencies and things I was trying to do at 12 years old, at 16, at 24, whatever it was. And I'm like, I've made it through every single point, every single chapter in my life. And it's always worked out. Not because I didn't not want it to work out or I wasn't trying to. Everybody's going to make mistakes. And some people, it doesn't work out for them because they're still stuck on the mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like they're filled with guilt or shame or despair or stuck in that rut of depression, and they just stay on, I don't see a way out, so there's not a way out. Instead of like, for me, like, you got to make a way out.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to, at some point, you have to move forward.
You have to.
Personally, the way I was feeling, I don't want to continue to feel like that, so I have to keep going. I have to do something. Like, even for me, if it was going for a walk, instead of staying inside and crying about it, or, just doing something.
Go out, get my mind off it, think about something else, or just get in, like, some nature, like some fresh air. Like,
absolutely.
A different place, a different setting than where you were before. Because sometimes when you leave that physical place, you leave that emotions, you leave the thoughts behind too, and now you can operate outside of those feelings. And kind of like clear your mind and like reset yourself on an emotional level. Be like, okay, I don't want to feel like that no more. So what do I have to do? What do I have to think? What do I have to change so I'm not in that situation anymore?
Yeah. And they always say like physical activity is the best or better when for depression and stuff like that. So even like I was saying, just go for a walk, or doing something as going to the grocery store, just doing shopping,
or just window shopping. You don't even got to buy. You don't even have to spend money. Just get out and go somewhere and do something. Even if it's something you've never done before, get outside your comfort zone.
Yeah,
because it's the longer you stay in your comfort zone, whether it's good or bad. Because we know people that they get comfortable in the struggle.
Yeah.
And they're always talking about the same things. They're always bitching and complaining about the same things. And they never move. They never take that step. They never take that risk. They stay in the same place and they get comfortable in the pain. They get comfortable with whatever is wrong in their life, and that's where they stay at. But they say they don't want this. They say they want to feel better. They say X, Y, Z.
Yep.
And then they don't even recognize that they're comfortable in the situation that they're in. So I know for me, and I know people who know me can attest to this. Like, I was always comfortable doing whatever I was doing at that time. Especially if it's like throughout the years and you're a kid and you grow up a certain way. We got family traditions. We go over to my grandparents' house for Christmas, for Easter, for Thanksgiving, or whatever. As you get older, things change. Situations change, dynamics change, people's health changes. And like, I got to a point when I was younger, I was like, well, why aren't we going over here like we used to go over here?
Right.
Because that's what I was comfortable doing. That was the routine. And then it's like, life just in general forced me out of my comfort zone. I had to pivot. I had to take a different route, not just with that family stuff, but just in real life. Because I know personally, at 22 years old, the living situation wasn't the way that I needed it to be. And I found myself without a home, not putting the blame on nobody that was involved in that situation. If anything, I take the blame 100%, because once I do that, that means, at least in my mind, I have the power to change the situation. So, homeless at 22, I'm not saying I was living on the streets or nothing, but I didn't have a home. I wasn't paying no bills nowhere. And I was jobless, penniless, like the brokest I've probably ever been in my life. And I was like, fuck, man. I don't want to feel like this. I don't want to be here. So I had to do whatever I had to do. I got my living situation together, but then the depression set in, and I was like, man, I found myself back at square one. And for me, back at square one meant the very first job I ever had, which was working at Hy-Vee grocery store at the time. And I had that job from like 15, 16 until like 20, 22, something like that. But I had to go back to that first job. And I was like, how did I end up backwards? And I was like, well, I feel like the universe was trying to tell me something. God, whatever you believe in, I'm not trying to push my beliefs on other people. I'm just saying I had to learn certain lessons enable for me to move forward.
And there's definitely nothing wrong with going back, because even like you at least had a job, you were there. You had something, you kept making some sort of income. And that's not bad, because that's a place to start at least.
Yeah, it's better than absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
It's better than being lost or feeling lost, and you're just blind walking through life.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was a great starting point to kind of rebuild myself and rebuild my life and trying to walk into and become the version of me that I knew I could be, even if I didn't know what that version looked like, which it just so happened to be who I am today. And it was like, just looking back on my journey, I'm like, man, I had to take 5 steps backwards so I can be flung forward and come to this moment in time. Because when I lost everything, and I'm looking at it now, I'm like, I got everything back double time, double the space, double, triple the money. The people around me are better, even when I didn't have nobody or felt like I didn't have nobody around me at that time. And I'm like, that's where I came up with TTP.
Yeah.
Trust the process. Because even if you don't know you in the process, you're probably in the process. And it's not always pretty. It's not always, you're not always doing the things that you want to do, but you might be doing the things that you have to do to get to the next chapter of your life. And that's just one of the struggles that I had to overcome personally, like not just physically out in the world and living, but like mentally and emotionally. I had to regulate my emotions. And at that time, I wasn't even working out. And I got my stuff together eventually. Life kept pushing me forward. The people around me kept pushing me forward to a certain degree. But at the same time, I had to be the one to move. Like people could tell me whatever, people could try to put me in position and give me advice and whatever else, whatever help they were doing or offering me at the time, but I had to move. I had to make the decision to move.
Even on the drive here, I saw many homeless people out there, and even then, they're in the process because I feel like they're at like starting from a really low point, and a lot of them, it's really unfortunate, but a lot of them will not make it. Some of them don't make it out of that, because a lot of them deal with addictions, drug addictions. And I understand it's hard struggling with addictions.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just there's definitely steps that people can take, and with starting all the way at the bottom, you just have to take that first step. And a lot of the time, those people that you see, they're stuck. They're stuck, and they're dealing with all that stuff. And sometimes all they need is somebody to help.
Well, they also want to. They have to want to get help too. Because there's a lot of people that like are hypocrites. They'll say something and then their actions are the reverse of what they're saying. I'm like, you can't want help and then when help arrives, swat that hand away.
Yeah, no.
Like, no, that's not the type of help that I wanted. I wanted XYZ. I wanted money. I wanted, like, you ask for help, this is the help.
Yeah.
Just because the help don't look like what you want it to look like doesn't mean that it's not going to better you.
Yeah, no. I mean, something I struggle with is letting people help me.
Same.
Because I want to pull myself out. I want to do it, But I sometimes have to sit back and just be like, all right, they're offering help. Why not take it? Because this, it in a way can help you, could better you. Could do something, depends on what it is, you just have to accept the help.
You gotta be willing to receive it.
Yeah.
And for me, I know that, that's like a struggle I've been dealing with all my life just because, depending on how deep you want to get into it, but for me, just from what I remember, every time I asked for help in certain periods of my life, it wasn't there. It was based upon a give and take. Like, oh, I'll help you, but then later on they'll come back like, hey, I helped you. Now you gotta help me do this. I'm like, that's not love. That's not, or at least my definition of like, because I give without even expecting to receive.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm like, that's just me. I don't know what you expect of me, but like that's how I show love to people. And I feel like love is universal, just like pain is universal, or you could just all emotions in general is universal, because there might be me and you, very different circumstances, very different upbringing and stuff like that, but the emotions that we've been through, the emotional roller coaster of life, which everybody is going through and everybody has been through, we've all felt the same feelings at some point in time. So when I make pieces of content, I'm like, I'm just like you, we're just wearing different faces, wearing different bodies and stuff like that, but we've been through stuff and we felt the same things. That's why I feel like we can relate to one another if we just have conversations like these and we break it down, we break life down, and we're like, you know what, I feel you on that. I've been through something different, but I felt abandoned before. I felt betrayed, or I felt lost, or I felt like I was stuck in a rut. And I didn't know where to go, but I just kept going anyways.
Yeah, one of the things I think is interesting is like celebrities. People idolize these people.
They're just like us.
They're just like us. You watch podcasts and you see these people talking about their struggles, their struggles, their upbringings and stuff like that, and that's when you realize like they're just like us.
It's all the same shit.
Yeah.
The only difference is they got lights, camera, and action on them.
Yep.
That's it. They just have a camera on them.
Yep.
You just hear their name. They just put out something, a piece of content that people gravitate to or listen to. That's it.
Yeah.
They just got more money than you. I don't like all these other different
publicity
factors.
and stuff like that. And like I said, that's the thing I think is interesting. Because you'll see a famous person or celebrity out on the street, and you see people just gravitate towards them, running, screaming, like,
and like they're just trying to enjoy their day. They're just going through the routine of life, and you're coming up and interrupting their day, and it's like, put yourself in their shoes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if you're just going to the grocery store and people start flocking around you, and you're like, bro, I'm just trying to get my groceries.
Yeah.
Like, can I just get my shit and go home? And I feel like as a society, or at least in America, we do this a lot, to where we even put the microscope on celebrities and like the non-average people, non-regular people, and we scrutinize them harder than we do normal people. And I'm like, we make mistakes too.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know what you would have done if you were in the same situation. So now we're hating on this person because, and most of the time it's not even what the media portrays. Like, the situation gets blown out of proportion sometimes. I can't speak for all the time or most of the time, but I know I've read things and seen things, and evidence has came out later about some things that we literally blew this out of proportion, and now this person's out of a career, something they love to do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we didn't need to do that. They're just like us. They make mistakes. Why can't they apologize and rework or change their behavior and move on? Because if we can do it, why can't they do it?
Yeah.
Just because they got cameras on, they're stuck in their mistakes? That don't even make sense to me.
Yeah, people can change. Many people, I've met many people that believe people cannot change, but people can change if they're willing to make that change.
Yeah, if they're willing to make that change.
You just got to be willing to make that change, willing to make that first step to change yourself. Take that first step, move forward, and just try to become better. Focus on that one thing.
Yeah.
And then, if you have other stuff, focus on that. And
gradually, though. Because you're not going to be able to do it all at one time. For me, my advice is always to people, whether they want it or not, is sit down with yourself.
Yeah.
Like, just you in a room, no phone call, no noise, no music, no TV, no nothing, no distractions. And if there's something that you know that's wrong with you, I'm not even wrong with you, because I don't even like using that as a construct, but something that you want to make better within yourself, something that you want to do, something that you want to change. Sit down with yourself, have a conversation with yourself, whether it's in your head or out loud, or write it down on a piece of paper or whatever it is. Get it outside of your head. Like, this is what I don't like. This is what I want to change. And then from there, okay, I'm going to do X, Y, Z. I'm going to do these steps. And if I do these steps, it's going to change the things that I want.
Yeah.
For me, now, I'm down 75 pounds.
Nice.
And I was on my heaviest, I was 265. And I went to the gym at work, Cody and them got me in the gym about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, whatever. And it was a process within itself, but I was like, I had to take that risk. I had to take that leap of faith. And it was me getting outside my comfort zone. I had to sit down with myself and like, bro, I don't want to be this heavy. I want to look better. I want to feel better. I want to do more. I want to feel more confident in myself. And I want to look in the mirror and recognize who I really am underneath.
Yeah.
Like, on a deeper level. And for me, I had to hit the gym. And it wasn't just about losing weight. It eventually became like, that's 75 pounds of fat I lost. That's 75 pounds of emotional baggage, 75 pounds of trauma, 75 pounds of abandonment issues and relationship problems, and all that stuff wrapped into one is what got dropped off in the weight room. So for me, it was deeper than losing weight. Losing weight was just a side effect of me being a better version of me, coming out on the other side, this current version of me.
Yeah. Yeah, and along with going to the gym, you have to practice that discipline. And for me, that's something I struggle with a lot, is discipline and keep on and keep going. And that's hard. And to be able to lose 75 pounds, you're practicing that discipline, and that's something that you can be very proud about. And that's something that's it's an achievement. And
because the most important is discipline, and you got to be consistent. Because I didn't lose 75 pounds in a month. I didn't lose 75 pounds even in 6 months. It might have took a year, or however long it took, a year, 2 years, or whatever. I'm not saying I haven't fell off before, or I didn't not go to the gym for a week or whatever. But it's you got to hop back on. Whenever you fall down, whenever you take a knee, you got to get back up and keep going and keep going and keep going until you reach the goal, until you reach the dream.
Yeah, they say consistency is key.
Yes, because if you're consistent, you're already doing better than 99% of the other people who aren't disciplined, who aren't consistent.
Yep, absolutely. I'll get a gym membership, go once or twice, and I just won't go again. And that's something I want to work on. Maybe start 3 days a week.
Let's go. Let's do it.
And sometimes I don't want to go, but I have to force myself to go.
Or just go take a walk.
Yeah.
You don't even have to physically drive anywhere. Just go take a walk down the street. Cause I know sometimes, I got some weights around the complex. I got some weights outside, but sometimes I'm like, oh, that's too much. I don't want to do all that. Or I got to go drive to the gym at work. It's not that far away, but I'm like, I don't want to do all that.
Yeah.
But let me get outside the house. Let me get outside my comfort zone. Forget what I don't want to do. Let me go do something. And I got a trail right by my apartment complex, and I'm like, let me just go take a walk. Whether it's a mile, whether it's however long it is, I'm outside the house. I'm outside. I'm doing something active. And then you just build upon that every day.
Yeah, and even when you're doing something as simple as just taking a walk, you can still get into that headspace to where you're with yourself. You can have conversations with yourself. You're spending time. For me, even I'm spending time with myself, but in another aspect, when I'm taking a walk, I'm also and this is for me personally, I'm spending time with God.
I was literally about to say that right after you, bro.
Yeah, I have conversations with myself, and then I'll talk to him, and sometimes it helps me because I'm getting stuff out of my head. They say give it to God, and everything that I'm carrying, I'm giving it to Him. So I think walking is very therapeutic. Sometimes I'll put headphones on, listen to music, whatever I'm feeling in that moment, but. I think taking walks by yourself is very therapeutic.
I think
instead
so
of just
too.
Even what you said, staying inside, and kind of spending time with yourself. And that's not a bad thing necessarily, but getting out, taking a walk, because you're always getting physical activity, but you're also
you're out in the world. You're out in nature. You're looking at a different scenery than just being stuck in the house or being stuck at work or being stuck in a room. Or wherever you feel stuck is, wherever your normal comfort zone is, you're somewhere different.
Yeah.
And you never know what might happen if you just take a step outside.
Absolutely.
You might see a sign that might be a spiritual sign to you. You might see some running water or something, and you get some type of clarity. You get an answer to a question that you've been asking for a couple weeks or a couple days. If you would have just stayed inside, maybe you would have never came to that conclusion.
No. Yeah.
So it's for me, I'm always pushing discipline. I'm always pushing consistency, and I'm always pushing getting outside your comfort zone. Because the version of whoever you want to be, clearly it's not now, or you wouldn't want to be more. You wouldn't want more. You wouldn't want a better life. So that version of you, the greatest version of you, whatever that may look like to people on an individual level, it's outside of your comfort zone. It's always outside of your comfort zone.
The thing is, the version of you that you want to be could just be one decision that you make away.
I was literally saying that to myself yesterday.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're literally one consistent decision away from an entirely different life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just one. If you make but one decision, there could just be one decision that can change your entire life. And if you make one different decision that you made every day, from like say you have a routine that you're stuck in, if you make one different decision a day, you're already changing your life.
You got to pivot, man. Sometimes, I mean, life is going to throw curveballs at you. Mm-hmm. Life's going to happen. People get older. People die, get sick, the economy, all these hundreds, thousands of different factors. And you're going to wake up some days and things are not going to go your way. Mm-mm. But your mentality has to be strong enough. You have to be mentally sound to a certain degree. Be like, okay, it's not going my way. It's not going the way I want it to look. I might be emotionally conflicted about mm-hmm. some situation, but I'm like, let me keep going. Let me keep moving forward. This isn't an inconvenience.
Right.
Let me control my emotions. Let me not get outside of character, mm-hmm. and let me still do what I know I need to do every day.
Yeah. And there's even like a situation that I'm going through, but it's like there's not much I can do to control it. So I just have to do what I want to do, because I'm not the people that are in this situation. It's like if there's nothing much I can do, I'm gonna let you do what you do. And I'm just going to keep going on about what I'm doing.
Right.
And I'm going to continue to grow, and I'm going to continue to do what I do, so that, they're not pulling me down.
Right. You got to do what's best for you.
Mm-hmm. Do what's best for me. I'm doing what's best for my family. And like I said, I'm just going to take it day by day, and I'm going to continue to live my life, and do what I think is best for my family. Mm-hmm. And, if in a way, like if it's going to change, it's got to take both sides. Like I said, this is just my situation. I'm not going too in detail about it, because
we don't need no names. That's not what we're on.
But and the thing is, it takes a lot of in the situation, it takes a lot of forgiveness. Both ways.
Not even for them, but for you.
Yeah, for me.
Forgiveness for you.
Yeah, I have to forgive myself. And I think that's even one of the first steps, is forgiving myself and moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, man. That's what it's all about. Because, I mean, you know me, I'm always saying dream big and execute, man. Mm-hmm. Whatever your dream is, whatever your goal is, your ambition is, do not let the people around you stop you. Don't let the events and situations of life stop you. If this is your goal, this is your mission, this is what you got written down or stuck in your head, and you can't even get good sleep because you're still up thinking about it.
Yeah.
Pursue it with everything you got.
Yeah.
You're going to have to adapt. You're going to have to pivot.
Yeah.
You're going to have to, the plan might change, but the destination is always going to be the same.
Yeah, and the world's not going to stop.
No.
The world's going to keep going.
It's going to keep growing, keep evolving.
Definitely not going to stop just because of a minor inconvenience or something that happens. Just don't stop. That's the thing.
You get a flat tire on the side of the road, you're like, that's going to suck. That's a real inconvenience.
And that's something that can ruin your day if you let it. The thing is,
if you let it.
Because then you're having, if that happens in the morning, you're having a bad rest of your day, and that's a wasted day.
Right. Because you're still going to eventually have to do with whatever whatever your day is. You're still going to do that. So why would you have a bad mood doing what you know you got to get done anyways? So I'm like,
because even if you're on your way to work, you're not going to have a very good shift. That's going to be
you're going to be pissed. That's all you're going to be talking about. That's all you're going to be thinking about.
Yeah.
You might be messing up at work or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was like minor inconveniences. And I'm like, you got to take it for what it is. Mm-hmm. It's a minor inconvenience. You're going to live your whole life, and eventually you're going to die. So does it really matter that much, or does it just matter in that moment?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because one of my first jobs was fast food. I worked at McDonald's, but and I honestly, I didn't like it. And there was a point where I dreaded coming into work, and every single day I would go in, I would just not have good shifts, and it would be like, why am I here? I don't want to be here. But then, when you start thinking about it, you have to shift your mentality to somewhere else. Why am I having bad days at work? I'm here and I'm not enjoying this. But then when you shift your mentality, it's now I'm having fun. I'm finding joy in it. I'm finding fun.
Because most of the time it has nothing to do with things going outside of you.
Yeah.
It's you. You're not having a good day because of you. You're showing up in a bad mood because of you.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't want to be in a bad mood the entire shift. I want to, because this is where I'm at right now. until I take a next step, and because even I'm in high school, that's just a high school job for me.
Right.
So it's not like I can just go get a full-time job.
Right.
But this is what
when you were in high school,
yeah, this is like kind of the cards I've dealt myself, and this is what I have to deal with right now. And I know I'm making money, so
you either play your hand or go fish.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I was saying, I don't want to have a bad mood every day, so I shift my mentality to, what can I do to make this better? And it's just putting yourself in a better mood, and finding. What I did was I kind of had fun with it. I would be like, all right, and when other people are, because I've seen other coworkers even around me having a bad day because their jobs, might be a little bit tougher. And I had a guy one time, he was, cursing the whole time, and he was just having a bad day. And I was like, I'm having a good day.
Right. You're like, bro,
it's your mentality, while you're working, even like with the job we have right now.
So we see people on every shift, every day.
And it's every day too.
And we're like, bro, if you just look at things differently, if you just move differently, you think differently, your day's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Regardless of what's going on outside of work, at least make work.
Yeah.
Because you're there for so long, at least make that place a good place to be.
Yeah, because work is obviously one of the most important things that, you're doing in your life, because it's something you have to do.
You're there for long periods of time.
Yeah. So why would you go to a place and just be in a bad mood the entire day? You're gonna hate it.
Because then it's like
enjoy your life.
Because you can get any other job. So if you're gonna have a bad mood coming to that job every single day, then you might as well just get another job.
Yeah.
Because I'm not saying, and I know a lot of people got money problems and the economy and everything, but it's like people are hiring if you just look.
Yeah.
Like there's money to be made if you just go find where the money's at.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying any job is the greatest job. If the job is not up to your standards and it's not helping you, it's not benefiting you, and you're making less money or you can't pay the bills, go find something that's going to be up to your standards, because that's going to help you live the life that you want to live.
Yeah.
And I know people are going to complain and they're going to push back, but like, well, it's not that easy. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying there's a simple solution though.
And they say, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. But sometimes to be able to do what you love, you have to go through struggles, and you got to go through things that you don't want to do to get to that point. And that's kind of the point where I'm at right now. Because like I said, I don't necessarily enjoy the job I do, but I'm not going to show up every day in a bad mood. I like the people I work around. That's something that I could find, to make, or even work with. Like six. I like the people I work around. And it doesn't pay the worst. So
right.
I'm in a position to better myself, better my future, for me and my family.
Right, especially in the moment that you're there, that you're here. Like the life that you're living now, it can only get better if you want it to get better.
Yeah. And
I know you said that you're not trying to stay at the job that we're at for long term. I get there. I'm there. So I'm doing what I'm doing. And it's like for years, because I know people who've worked there, people try to put me on, and I'm like, the version of Trey Starr at 18, if he would have got on at the job, he would have quit. The version of Trey Starr at 20, at 22, would have got on the job and probably would have quit.
Yeah. So
it took the version of whenever I got hired 3 years ago, that version of Trey Starr was ready to take on the responsibility to step to a place of discipline and routine to be able to stick with things that I had to do. Not that I wanted to do. That was literally the last place on earth that I ever wanted to be. But it ended up being the best place for me to be at. Because for me, I've always had a saying within these last few years that God has always put me in the perfect position for my purpose. And my purpose, at least from my perspective, has always been to motivate people to change lives by changing minds. And it's taken time. It's taking money, energy, sleepless nights, early mornings, consistency, discipline, all the things that we talked about to even be here, be in this moment right here, me and you. Because it's like if I never would have went that route, we wouldn't be here right now. I don't even think none of this would have been here right now. We wouldn't be filming episode 1 of the Other Side podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's like I had to do the last thing on my list so I could do the first thing on my list.
Yeah, and
which was this.
Yeah, and they always say, it's the saying is like, God will never give you something that you can't handle.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you're in a spot, mentally that you're like, I can't do this,
but you can. But you can. That's why you're there.
Mm-hmm.
You can because you're there, bro. But also sometimes people put themselves in situations where they were never even supposed to be in.
Nope.
And I've had conversations with people before, and I say this, and it's like God will allow you to do whatever you want to do, and then when it don't work out, you're gonna come back. God's gonna be like, "You ready to do what I want? What I need you to do now?
Yeah,
you done did what you want to do. It didn't work out. Now you back. So let's follow the plan now."
Yeah, you'll pray for things that you want, and pray for things that you need. Pray for different situations. And, God's not just going to give you...
No, you got to put in
work. Give it to you. He's going to put you in situations that are going to lead you towards that.
Right. It was like, do you really want what you pray for? Because now you're in a situation, go get it.
Mm-hmm.
It might be hard, might be difficult. It ain't going to look like how you want it to look. It might not even feel how you want it to feel. But this is the road. This is the path. Are you going to take it? You going to take that step? You going to take that leap of faith?
Yep.
How bad do you want it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I definitely, like I said, for things I pray for, he's definitely put me in a situation to where I can go get it, and I'm doing my best, to be able to go get it. So like I said, he's just not going to hand it to you, but you have to be willing to go get it.
You got to be willing to go get it. Like people pray for things all the time, and I'm just talking in general because I know there's going to be people that are going to push back or have some negative say. I get it. Everybody has different opinions, different life experiences and stuff like that. But it's like, for me, I've witnessed people pray for things, ask for things, plead for things, beg for things. And when help arrives, when their prayers are answered, but it's not what they wanted, not what they envisioned in their head, they don't even see it as a blessing.
Yeah.
They see it as an inconvenience. Mm-hmm. They see it as something masked as something else, so they shoo it away. They throw it away, and then they're still stuck in the situation they were stuck in. Mm-hmm. So it's like I live my life by 3 principles. Everything in my life since birth has either been a lesson, a blessing, or a miracle. That's it. Good, bad, the ugly, the mistakes, everything has either been a lesson I had to learn, a blessing that I was ready to receive, or a miracle, a combination of everything. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you got to take things for what it is. Is it something that you have to learn? Is it a blessing? Is it a miracle that you've made it through these things that you didn't even think you would, but now you're here? And I feel like one of the main things is gratitude. Yeah. You got to be grateful. I wake up with gratitude. That's the first thing out of my mouth. Thank you, God, for another day. Yeah. And then I say what I want. I set the tone for the day. Today's going to be a great day. Today's going to be a phenomenal day. Today, we're going to go to work. It's going to be peaceful. It's going to be smooth. Regardless of what goes on outside. My world and my mind, the things that I do, the things I can control. It's going to be peaceful. It's going to be smooth. Everything's going to go the way that it needs to go. Yeah. I set the tone for the day. And whether things outside of me try to conflict with that, my mentality keeps me on point. My vision and my intent on how I want things to go keep me on point. So I have good days regardless. I have great days regardless because I set the tone whenever I get up.
Yeah, and kind of going back to what you were saying about the lessons, J. Cole said it best, but there's beauty in the struggle, ugliness in the success. I think about you can't really learn. So I'm trying to say this. You can't really learn lessons, you have to learn lessons to succeed. Like
if you were just handed everything, you didn't learn none. Yeah. You're not gonna know how to handle what you was given.
Like when you're talking to so older people, obviously they live their whole life. They've obviously struggled. They've gone through it. So when I like to often get advice from older people and talk to older people because they've lived their entire life.
They know what they're talking about.
They know what they're talking about. There's definitely you have to learn your lessons, through struggle to get to the other side to succeed. If you don't learn your lesson, from your struggles, then you're right back.
Right, you're like we said, you're in the loop. You're gonna keep going back there to that place, to those feelings, to that environment you don't want to be in, because you're still there to learn something. You got to be willing. You got to be coachable. You got to be teachable.
Yeah.
Life's trying to teach you something. God, whatever you believe in, the universe, Mother Nature, whatever it is, you're there to learn something. I was at Hy-Vee to learn something. For me, what I got out of it was work ethic.
Yeah.
My work ethic had to be on point, because if I didn't have no work ethic and I came into this job, I would have been just like every other bum, every other loser that we see that's doing everything except what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, same for like when I worked in fast food. That's for something you pick up skills. I picked up, work ethic, being work on time, showing up, every day, being
how to talk to people,
consistent, talking to people. And a lot of people say they would never work in fast food, but when that's something, when I grew up in a small town,
so when that's your only option, or the only option you think you have,
it's there's nothing wrong with it, because you're making money, you're learning. It's not a bad thing. It's just,
and I feel like people put a big stigma on certain things, certain jobs, certain family dynamics, and you can extrapolate that to anything. Just like, there's nothing inherently wrong with these things. It's just how you view these things. It's your perception, your perspective on these things. For some people, this is their only option to do X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
For some people, this is how they were raised. This is just the family dynamic that they're currently in. They don't know anything else. So why would you judge people on things that they don't know? They don't know any other way to live. That's just how, that's what they know, and that's what they're doing. So leave them where they're at and still go and do you. Because if you got time to judge other people on what they're doing and what they're not doing, what they're wearing, or how they look, or what they're posting on the internet, you're not as involved in your life as you probably should be.
Yeah, it's definitely it's definitely like a worry about yourself thing. I mean, I'm not saying that you can't go out and give others advice to lead them,
right?
If they're in a bad place, but it's kind of
but they gotta want the help.
Yeah, they have to want the help, but you have to focus on you and
do it without judgment. Do it without trying to put whatever you're trying to say or however you live. Don't try to force that on other people.
Yeah, and that's something I'm kind of bad about is judging other people, even at work. I'm sometimes.
I mean, we all talk, we all bullshit. We're not normally not telling no lies,
but at the same time, that's something that I do. I'm judging somebody when I shouldn't. But going back to it's you have to want the help, and some of those people that we know, even not even at work, but in other places,
in life in general,
they're keeping themselves in one place. They want to be better. Why am I doing this? Why am I feeling this way? But they're not doing anything. They keep putting themselves in this place to keep feeling that way. And they're not pulling themselves out. They're not taking that first step. They're not accepting.
They're not accepting and acknowledge that they are at fault. Even if it wasn't their fault to be in that position in the first place, it's still on you to get yourself out.
Yeah.
Like, people can offer help and like I said before, and do all these kinds of things for you, but you gotta move. You gotta take that step. You gotta put a plan into action and execute on that plan. Like, for me, I'm heavy on making what I call a blueprint to your own success. What is your individual blueprint to your success? Whatever that success may look like. Sit down with yourself, like we said before. Write it out. Whatever idea you have, write it down in your notes, on a piece of paper, on a whiteboard, whatever. I got 4 or 5 whiteboards in my house. You see what I got planned. Short-term plans, long-term plans, taxes, businesses, crypto, everything. And it's not in my head no more, so now I'm not thinking about it. I can go back and look at it, and I can have new ideas. Even if something doesn't work out, I'm on the bigger and better things in my head.
And that's something I definitely need to start doing as well, because I'll be thinking of something and I'm like, man, I should do that. I really want to do that. And then I'll forget about it. And I'm like, I don't even remember what I was thinking.
You're like, damn, that's such a great idea.
Should have written it down.
Yep.
I think that's definitely a good idea.
Because even if you write stuff down and you come back with like, oh, that was a stupid idea. Well,
at least you wrote it down.
You wrote it down because you're no longer thinking about it. Now you can think of a better idea or a better step to take. And like my advice to people, if they're trying to make a change and they're trying to have they want a game plan to go to point A to point B in their life, write it down. Just write it down. It's very simple. Take 5, 10, 15 minutes out of your day. And I know people are always talking about they ain't got enough time. When you make time for the things, you make time for things you want to make time for. You got 12 everybody you know has the same exact time. From Jeff Bezos to the blue collar worker working in the plants to the mechanic to the fast food person. We have the same 24 hours. We all have different situations, different life, different responsibilities. But it's like, okay, what do you do before you go to sleep?
Yeah.
Take 5 minutes out of your day before you go to sleep, before you say your prayers or whatever you do, after you take a shower or whatever. Write your life out. Write your game plan out. If this is what you really want to do, these are the changes you really want to make, this is the business that you really want to build, start building it with your mind.
Yeah.
By writing it down.
Yeah.
And you do that consistently over time, that's your vision. That's your vision board, that's your blueprint, that's your game plan, that's your vehicle to get you to point A to point B to point C. And all you got to do is follow it.
Yeah, write down, like you were saying, write down your blueprint. Even write down what steps you would think it would take and start following them. If it fails, guess what? It doesn't work. Keep going.
Keep going. Pivot. Adapt.
Yeah, keep going. Write down new steps. Keep going. They're saying fall down 9 times, get up 10. Keep falling down, keep getting up. Because what's the point if you fall down to stay down?
It didn't work. Okay, make it work.
Yeah.
Make it work.
Yeah, do something to make it work.
And that's what I'm on. Like, people always like, oh, what if it don't work? I'm like, that's not an option. Oh, what's your plan B? There's no plan B. No, plan A is me. It's just me and what I want to do. I'm going to make it work regardless. Yeah. Whether it takes a year, 5 years, 10 years, 30 years. I promise you, I guarantee you, I put it on my soul, I put it on my life, man, I die today, it's going to work. That's how I feel. Like, that's my mentality. There is nothing I cannot do if I sit down and put my mind to it.
Yeah.
Period.
Nothing's impossible. People
have such limited beliefs about themselves. They can't help but put those same limited beliefs onto you. When you want to do something that's outside of their norm, when you want to do or say something or be somewhere that they've never seen it done before ever. And like we were saying, celebrities are just like us, so if they can do what they're doing and got to the status that they're at,
absolutely. That's what they
so
want
can
to
you,
do.
so can you, so can you, so can you, so can she and he and them and they and everybody.
Because at one point they were just like you.
They were just like you.
The only difference is they actually did something about it.
Exactly. They fell down 9 times, got up 10. They pivoted. The road to success, the road to the best version of you living your greatest life is not straightforward. It's full of ups and downs and turnarounds. It's a whole ass roller coaster. And you got to be along for the ride. You can't be in the middle of it and decide you want to get off.
Yeah. And sometimes it's just as easy as making one different decision a day that you would have made. That easy.
Yep. But you gotta be willing to put in the work. Like for me, even putting all this together and all the other things that I'm doing on the side that we've talked about before, I don't just come home from work or spend my days off of work smoking weed, drinking, and just sitting my ass on the couch. Like, I'm on YouTube studying, writing down things, listening and learning. I'm even out working. I'm not just working. I'm listening to audiobooks to better my mind, to get information about business, to be a better writer, to be a better podcaster, to be a better person. I study psychology. I study a whole bunch of things. I got things written down on the board. I study e-commerce. All these things to make myself better, whether I'm going to use that information now or use it in the future for the businesses that I'm currently building and the projects that I'm working on. Like, it's not just sit down and write a game plan. It's like, what is this going to take? Because most of the time you're not going to know the knowledge. You're not going to have the information. You got to go find it. Cause I made things before, I put out content before, and I'm like, if you got to go take a class, go take a class. If you got to go sign up for something, go sign up for something.
Get a mentor.
Right. If you got to go get a mentor, get a mentor. You got to go to the library, bro, go to the library. You gotta download an app and pay for a subscription to get therapy or get like an audiobook or something. Do what you gotta do. It's gonna help you in the long term. Like, don't let it be just because it's inconvenient for you in this moment. Or let's say you can't afford it right now. Okay, well then that's where you start. What do you have to do to be able to afford to get the information that you need? And it might not happen today. It might not happen next week. You might not have the money in a month from now. But if you are disciplined and you're consistent about it, and you actually lock in on the things that you need to do. If you got to pick up some extra shifts, you got to do a side hustle, you got to go DoorDash or Uber or whatever it is that you got to do. Stop limiting yourself. It's going to be inconvenient. It might be hard. You might not make money the first day. That don't mean don't go back tomorrow and do the same thing. It's going to take time.
Yeah.
But you got to do it. If that's something that you really want to do, whatever it is, and it's got to be, at least for me, it's like, it's life or death. Like, I know that sounds dramatic, but it's like, I'm either going to get this done, I'm going to see this through, or I'm going to die trying. And I know that might be a cliche. I know 50 Cent has said that. That was his whole thing. That's what it came out with. But I'm like, I live that to the core. Like, this is going to work, or you are going to see me die trying to make it work. Period. That's it. That's the deepest. I feel like that's as deep as it can go. I put my heart and soul into everything I do, and I feel like if other people have a dream, they have a goal, they have a certain vision for their life that they want to live, then you have to put everything you have into that vision and make it come to life.
You have to get uncomfortable.
You have to get uncomfortable.
To get comfortable.
Absolutely.
You have to get outside your comfort zone.
You gotta get down and dirty sometimes.
Yeah. You gotta do. They say if you have a dream and you're chasing it, you have to do what you gotta do to make it work.
And I know those words are such a cliche. We hear it all the time. You gotta do what you gotta do, and it's not. And people don't really go on what does that mean? It means everything. Everything you don't want to do, you might have to do it. You might have to go to McDonald's and work at McDonald's, bro. Yeah. You might have to go to a factory job that you don't want to go to and make that money.
Yeah.
You might have to stop going out and popping bottles with models and doing what you're doing. You might have to change your friends group. You might have to go back to school.
The people that you surround yourself with, I think that's very important. Because if you're surrounding yourself with people that, like you said, are going out and drinking, smoking weed, and not pushing themselves forward, how do you expect to push yourself forward if you're surrounding yourself with people who aren't like-minded? Right,
and they're not ambitious and they don't want to do the things that you want to do. That means you're the odd man out. But are you going to continue to do what you've been doing, knowing that that's not the way, that's not going to get you to where you want to be? Because clearly, if it was, then you'd already be living that life. But it's not. So it's like, is that a sacrifice you're gonna have to make? And for me, I'm like, I'm willing and ready to do what has to be done. If somebody gets in my way, and I'm not trying to, this isn't like an angry thing. This isn't me coming after nobody. But it's like, if it's this thing over here versus the dream, it's the dream every time. You're gonna have to go. Whatever the people, place, or thing, you're gonna have to go. I'm not sacrificing the dream for nothing. And that's why I keep myself in the position that I am. Because I know people always ask me, when you going to have kids? When you going to do this? When you going to when it happens, it happens. But I'm not in no rush for nothing. Because I'm still focused on this. I'm focused on the vision. Are those things a part of the vision? Absolutely. But if certain things interfere with the dream, then I don't want to put myself in a position to take on that responsibility.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So I'm like, it's a dream. Team dream. I gotta chase it. I gotta attract it. I gotta do what I gotta do to make it everything. I gotta make everything I write come to life.
Just by following that blueprint.
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
What, in your opinion, what do you think is the most given piece of advice that if you see all these interviews of people, it's like, if you had any advice to give to anybody, what would it be? What do you think is one of the most given piece of advice?
Given piece of advice that I've heard, or advice that I would give people?
Well, like for like where I'm going, like I think the most given piece of advice is never give up, and you take that and you just hear it, and it's like okay, but I think that is one of the most important pieces of advice is never give up.
Never. I agree. I would say the exact same thing. Whatever happens, whatever's going on, whatever you're going through, do not give up.
Mm-hmm.
Don't give up. You might be in the storm and a tornado's going around and your life is chaotic and you feel like hell is broken loose. Make it outside that storm and you'll never be the same as you were as you walked into the storm.
Yeah.
You'll always be different. You'll always come out different. And if you don't, then that just means you're still in the storm.
Yeah. I feel like there's no point in giving up. If you give up, you're setting yourself up for failure. You know.
I mean, you already failed. If you give up, that's the last thing. Mm-hmm. If you give up, there is nothing else.
Yeah.
You're going to settle for something less, something other than what you want. And then you're going to hate everything around you just because you're going to get to that point. I've seen it happen. And I'm like, all you had to do was just keep going. And now you're pointing the finger at everything else except yourself. Mm-hmm. Unsatisfaction or like not being fulfilled like internally, mind, heart, and spirit. That's why I feel like, in my opinion, some people, whether they know it or not, whether it's consciously or a conscious decision or unconscious decision, they gravitate to these substances.
And I feel like that's where addiction starts.
Yep, exactly.
Is when you give up, you turn towards things that are, like you said, are going to numb and kind of make you feel better in the moment and make you forget about it. But in the long run, you're going to develop that addiction, and you're putting yourself in a really bad place, in a really bad position, and I feel like your life can go from here and just keep gradually going down. Yeah.
And by no means am I trying to say that this is the root cause of all of it, because I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have that firsthand experience of things like that. Have I been addicted to something, not like a substance or anything? Yeah, I have, at least in my opinion. And it got to a point, I don't think I'm going into detail on this one, but I'll give you the gist of it. I had to make a change at 24 years old. And it wasn't just about losing weight. It was about a change of mentality. It was about looking myself in the mirror at that particular time and like, I don't even know who I am anymore. Like, who am I? I don't even like myself. I hate myself. And I found myself at the tail end where I got so low on myself that I don't even know if I've told a lot of people this, but I was in my apartment, not this one, but another one back in the day. I was 24 years old. I found myself on my knees with a rosary in my hand, a Bible in my hand, and I was praying, begging God. I was praying for death. I was praying for God take my free will away. I can't handle it. I'm making these wrong decisions. I'm saying one thing. I'm putting out this content, but behind the scenes, I'm a fucking hypocrite. And I'm not the version of me that I know that I can be. I'm not the version of me that I portray. And that's kind of what I've been working on since then.
Yeah.
And it just took it took a mental shift. I had to say enough was enough. Whatever I was doing, whatever I was thinking, the things I was saying, whatever the life I was living at that point, I was like, enough is enough. I gotta move. I gotta do something different. I gotta get outside my comfort zone. It's not working for me. It's not getting me where I want to be. So something has to change. And most of the time, the only thing that has to change is you.
Sometimes you have to hit the lowest of low to really get you to make that first change. Sometimes it's very scary. It's very hard to make that first change.
It is, because people are naturally not attuned to change anymore. That's just what society has become. Like, we don't have to hunt for food no more. We don't have to change locations like that if we don't want to. We don't even have to change jobs or careers if we don't want to. Because it's all kind of like wrapped up in a degree of convenience, at least for the American people. I can't speak for other countries or other societies and stuff like that, but just from what I witnessed from where we live, you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do, and that makes people comfortable.
Yeah,
you can go to the same grocery store for the rest of your life, and it's going to have the same quality of food, for bad or for worse, or for good or for worse. But if you just go down the street to another store outside your comfort zone, a place that you may have never been but heard of, the quality of food there might be better. It might just change your whole quality of life. If you just take that step outside your comfort zone and do something different, switch it up from now and then.
Absolutely.
And I know I've said this before. I want to get a poster made of this. It might not be word for word, but I've said before, one step outside your comfort zone will open your eyes. The rest of the steps outside your comfort zone will change your life. And for me, I feel like I'm a living testament to that. Like, just take a step outside of your comfort zone. Open your eyes to a different perspective, to the life around you, to your life, to yourself. Open your eyes to yourself. Who are you really? Because everybody is not a perfect person. Everybody is not a great human being.
Yeah, nobody's perfect.
And it's like, you either want to stay the version that you are, an asshole, a person who always thinks of themselves, a selfish person. I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking about people in general. And it's like, are you the person that you want to be? Like, are you really? Like, you really want to be an asshole 24/7? You want to be selfish 24/7? You want to, like, you got to change. And it starts with you making a decision. It starts with your mentality, because, you know, I'm always preaching, it starts with your mind, bro. It starts with your mentality. Change your mind. Because I've said this to people before, like, they don't know what's going on in their life. I'm like, if your mind's not right, your life probably ain't right. You got a lot of things going on out there, and you ain't regulating those emotions. You're not regulating those thoughts. You're feeling everything, and you might be on impulse acting on everything. And for me, it's very important for people, places, and things not to take me out of my character, because I'm a very peaceful person. I feel like I'm a very calm person. And for the most part, people have never seen me mad. Nobody's ever seen me angry. Nobody's ever seen me really pissed off. Like, that's not my normal mode that I go with. So if people do think like that, something happened. Something happened to get me to that point. But it's also on me to control myself to not get to that point. Now, I know there's a lot of things going on in the world. You might find yourself in a dangerous situation. You got to defend yourself, defend your family, all this other stuff. Yes, do what you got to do. But if things just so happen to be an inconvenience, or you got a road rage on the road, or something like that, what you really got to, within those moments, contemplate the pros and the cons of you getting angry, or you matching their level of energy, or having somebody cuss you out, and now you're going in a back and forth, and now it's a fist fight. Now you in jail, or worse, you're dead. And I'm like, most of the time it's not worth it. So for me, every time I'm out, I'm like, I don't care what people say to me, as long as you ain't putting no hands on me. That's a different story. But I'm like, you can say whatever you want. I'm still gonna have a great day. You can think whatever you want about me. You can move however you want to move in your life and try to move against me. I'm still gonna be great. I'm still gonna do me, baby. Like, there's nothing you can say that's gonna bother me, because I know who I am. I'm very comfortable with myself. I know what I bring to the table. I know what I do. I know what I can do, and I know what I've been through.
Yeah, people ask me all the time, like, they'll say something to me, and they're wanting me to, trying to get something out of me. They want me to say something back, And for me, if somebody, you can say what you said. You can say anything you want to me. I don't care. It's not going to offend me, but you can still say whatever you want, and I'm not gonna react to it. I'm not gonna let what you have to say about me ruin my day, ruin what I have going on,
or put me in a compromising position. Like, I'm not, like, it's not, no, for what? Because you can't handle your emotions because you feel some type of way, or maybe you perceive me in a certain way that ain't really what it is. Cool, you can think however you want to think. View me however you want to view me, whatever helps you. You can hate on me if you want to, but I'm gonna do me regardless.
Yeah.
Like, I still got to live my life. I don't make it a habit of engaging in arguments, for one, or engaging in hostile people in hostile environments.
I think a big thing of what pushes people away from wanting to start their dreams is what are other people going to think.
Yeah.
What are other people going to think about me? You know, what are people going to say about this?
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, what I have to say about that is, who cares?
Well, it's more important. What do you got to think about yourself?
If people are saying stuff about you, and more often than not, it's going to be people who just did not follow their dreams. You know, they stayed on a path and now they're stuck, and now they're projecting onto you because they see you following your dreams.
And they just didn't think it was possible for them, or they ended up in circumstances in life and they let life stop them. They settled for something less than what they thought they could achieve.
Yeah.
And especially if you're talking about, like, because I invest my money, I keep my money rotating.
Yeah.
My advice to people is never let your money sit in one spot. The bank ain't doing you no favors. I'm not saying don't have a bank account. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying learn about money in general. Just learn about money. Learn what you can do with it. Invest in something. Create your portfolio. Like you can see on my board, I got money in multiple different places that's making me money, not just sitting there. So it's like whenever I tell people about these things, sometimes depending on the person, they push back. We're like, oh, it's too risky. I'm like, you got to take risks in life.
Yeah.
But never risk more than what you're willing to lose.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and I know those people, and I'm not calling nobody out, but it's like I know those people, they've settled. For something in their life. They're settled because they're scared to take risks. They're stuck in fear mode. They're stuck in survival mode or whatever it is. Excuse me. And I'm like, that's not doing you any favors. It's not helping you. You're stuck in some type of mood. You're always feeling some type of way. And I'm like, you don't have to settle if you don't want to. That would be a universal truth that I would like to tell people. You don't have to stay where you're at. You don't have to keep doing what you're doing if that's not what you want to do. You don't have to live the life that you're living if that's not what you want to do. That's not what you see yourself living for the rest of your life.
Yeah. And that goes back to one different decision a day.
Yeah, one consistent decision a day can change your life forever. Just like you were saying, you want to go to the gym. Let's link up. Let's go to the gym, bro. We got a free gym.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, that's definitely something I want to start doing. It's the consistency and discipline part that I absolutely struggle with. I can have somebody, hold me accountable, and I can hold them accountable. We can be, better ourselves.
That's what Cody did for me, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever we started going, he was like, because he kept asking me for like days, for weeks, and I was like, oh, not today, because it was always after work, and I'm like, I'm trying to go after work. Yeah. And then one day I just went, and then I went the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and eventually I got so into the gym, and I started doing it by myself, because I had that momentum with me, and I knew what to do at that point with help. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going before work, I'm working my 10 hours, I'm going after work. Now, I was doing the most, and it hurt me eventually. So I'm not saying balls to the walls every single time, but it's like build that momentum, build that discipline, build that consistency. Whether you have to have somebody there or not, whether it's just you going on a walk or not. And even like for people who are really discouraged, and we're talking about the gym here, sometimes just walk into the gym. Just walk into the gym. And then you're already there, so you might as well do something.
Yeah, and if you don't know what to do, look up online. There's plenty of workouts.
The internet is your friend. YouTube is your friend. I mean, even TikTok. They got all. I mean, I'm not a big scroller on TikTok, but I know there's a lot of media on there. And if you got the money, you got the time and stuff like that, go get you a trainer. Go get you a personal trainer. Yeah. 'Cause I know, I was thinking about it, and I didn't follow through. That's on me as a person. And I know it was just, you know what stopped me though? And I'm going to be completely honest. What stopped me from going through with getting a trainer, because that was the road I was on, it was just fear. Illogical fear. It wasn't even fear like people was going to judge me. It wasn't nothing like that. It was like fear of like where it was going to get me. Like almost like fear of my own potential, if that makes sense. And it sounds weird even when I'm saying it, but it was like because it was so new. It was something very different. It's something not just going to the gym and working out or planning to work out or whatever. It's like somebody you're getting deep into it. You got a trainer. They know exactly what to do. And all you got to do is follow the game plan. You got to meet them. You got to do XYZ updates, meal plan, whatever it was, right? And I'm like, it was just for me. It was just fear.
Yeah. The thing is with like when you look at AI, a lot of people look at AI as like bad, but there are good things that can come out of it. Like if you can, sometimes personal trainers can be expensive. If you can't afford a personal trainer, go to ChatGPT, and it will literally person. This is not bad for ChatGPT.
No, we're not sponsored by anything. I promise you, but we could be eventually. Even like map out like work out for this amount of time. Go on these days.
Yeah, it'll give you sets and reps and it'll do it based on what you want. What you want to achieve, if it's athleticism, if you want to lose weight, build muscle, it'll personalize, a workout plan just for you based on how many days a week you want to go.
Yeah, you can go as detailed as you want with it. You can say whatever. You can type it in, say it, and it'll get you down to the letter.
Yeah, and so there's definitely cost-effective ways to
for free
to start getting into
for free.
The gym.
I think it's still free, right?
It's still free.
Okay,
I mean, you can pay for it. But that's just like people want to generate images off of it, and if you want to do more, you got to pay for it.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah.
But you can use it. It's a free option just to generate yourself a workout plan, a meal plan, and stuff like that. So
I mean, the internet is such abundant out there. The material, the information, the knowledge. You just have to know what you want to do, and then go get it. Go look it up. Go find it. Like. There's somebody knows something about something that you want to do.
And that's where the mentor comes in. Somebody who knows so much about what you want to know. Just follow what they got to say. But another thing I was thinking about is I think it's important to push yourself.
Yeah, you definitely
on the gym
because you're gonna hit a limit. You're gonna hit a plateau at some point in time, especially if we're talking about the gym. Especially if you're on a particular routine and you're doing the same thing, going through that same routine every day, every week.
Yeah.
You're going to get to the point like, I done lifted the weights.
Yeah.
Like, I this is easy to me. I'm on easy mode now. Well, that you got to challenge yourself now. You got to do heavier weights. You got to be more consistent. You got to change it up. You're doing 1 mile, do 2 miles. Or whatever it is for you as an individual. But the thing is, once you get to a spot to where it seems easier, always reach for more.
Yeah.
Unless that's just where you wanted to end up. If that's the end goal, you're at your end goal, that's what you want, cool. Then at that point, then it's just consistency. It's just maintaining at that point.
Yeah. You want to do hard things. For me, I want to do hard things. Like even last year when I was going through stuff, I got out and I did it. It was the middle of summer, so I did an overnight. I did a 50 mile hike.
Damn.
Because I just wanted to do hard things. I wanted to feel a sense of achievement. And that time I can spend. My brother went with me, but some of that time I can spend with myself, talking, spending time with God and
working things out, like mentally, probably emotionally too, and getting more grounded spiritually, I would assume.
Yeah, and doing hard things looks different for everybody. Even if doing hard things is going out and ordering food from a restaurant or something, talking to somebody. If you have
having difficult conversations with people,
having difficult conversations, doing something hard looks different for everybody because not everybody's going to be able to just go out and just hike 50 miles. It looks different for everything, but I think it's important to do hard things, put yourself out of your comfort zone, and like I said, one different decision today can lead to a different life. Because sometimes I don't want to get out, and
maybe that's your hard. Maybe that's your hard for that moment, for that day.
Absolutely.
And it's like, okay, well, let me do it anyways because I know it's only going to benefit me.
Yeah.
And I know I've been in funks before, and I've been in the house for days at a time. And sometimes I get to the point where like I just don't even want to communicate with people. Like I don't care. Like I'm doing I'm doing me. I'm sitting in whatever I'm sitting in. But I also have to consciously be aware that I have to work this out.
Yeah.
However I'm feeling, whatever funk that I'm in, I have to work it out mentally, whether it's a spiritual thing, whether I'm overthinking or whatever, and then also get outside of that. And that might be my hard for that particular time, is just dealing with myself.
Yeah. What's a way, if you're in a bad headspace, what's a way that you deal with getting out of that headspace?
Outside of a distraction and actually dealing with it, I think it would be, I mean, for me, I like going to the gym. I know we've talked about that, but like to get out of my head, because I go to the gym and I leave it all in the gym.
Yeah.
I just leave it all in the gym. Now, outside of physical activity, and let's say you're just staying in the house and you still have to deal with yourself and you're overthinking in your mind, write it down.
Yeah.
If you got questions, like questions why this happening, or questioning why are you having these thoughts, or whatever you're going through in your head, it don't even have to be questions. It could just be things that you're thinking about. Write it down, and you don't even have to answer them, but get them outside of your head. Because at least for me, I could be thinking something and then write that thought down, and most of the time, it's not there no more.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about something else now. It's on paper. I made it real. I made it more physical. And now what you do with it, you leave it there, you throw it in the trash, you burn it. I don't know. Because people have like ritual things.
Yeah.
They write it down and they burn it, and now it's gone. Whatever works for you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you're having a hard time, and you said mentally, right, write it down.
Yeah. Yeah. One thing, and for me, this is more of a distraction, but if I'm in a bad headspace, one thing I'll do is I'll just go on YouTube and I like comedy, so I'll just watch comedy.
Oh yeah, I mean, if we're talking distractions, then I love comedy. I'll go like most of the time I'll come home and watch something funny any time of day.
Yeah, I'm forgetting about it.
You're forgetting everything about whatever you was thinking about. Now you're engaged and you're laughing,
and I'm in a better mood.
And you know what they say, laughter is the best medicine.
Absolutely. And
I feel like outside of everything, laughter just puts you in a whole different headspace. At least for me, like it untenses your body. It loosens up your muscles to a certain degree. Your head is a little bit more clear because it's not in serious mode. It's not in go mode. It's in relax mode. It's in I'm comfortable mode. It's in I'm engaged in something other than real life right now. And sometimes, I mean, maybe a distraction is the word that needs to be used. Maybe it's a different word, but it's something to get your mind off, at least momentarily. Not something bad, not something illegal, not something that's going to ruin your health or ruin your life or have long-term effects, but just sit down, watch a funny movie, sit down, get on TikTok and watch your favorite TikToker or YouTuber or whatever. So I know a lot of people watch streamers on Twitch and on YouTube and all the gamers and stuff like Nick Merckx and Tim Tatman and all these other people. And I'm like, sometimes you gotta sit down and just relax, remove that stress, remove that anxiety, remove whatever it is that you're going through at that time. And it might be a distraction. Yeah.
And I'm not saying like you just forget about your problems entirely.
No. But you got to come back to it.
Yeah, because I feel like eventually you have to sit down, you have to deal with it. But even
if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling overwhelmed,
there you go. Yeah,
there you go.
If at one point you just need a distraction, do something you enjoy.
Something you enjoy and something you could lose time doing. Because, I mean, we was talking about that the other day.
Yeah.
What is something that you can do and just lose yourself in doing it? Yeah. For me, it's watching comedy, and then I like to write, too. I like to write novels, and I got projects that I'm working on. Like, I could sit there if I'm really into it, if I'm really in the mood, just sit on the computer. I'm just writing. Like, sometimes I don't eat. Sometimes I forget to drink water. I'm not saying those are good things, but I'm saying that is something I enjoy so much. I'm not thinking about anything else. But that's just me. Now, in the summertime, go take a swim. Yeah. Go take a swim, man. It's freaking hot as hell outside these last few months, especially these last weeks. It's something that you don't have to think about. If you're going through some things, if you have access to a pool or something, man, just go take a dip and see where your mind goes. Yeah. And then come out. You're probably going to feel refreshed. You're like, man, that was nice. I'm cooled down. I don't even remember what I was thinking about.
Absolutely.
it's about like just relieving yourself from stress in a healthy way. I feel like.
All right. I do have one more question, at least I wanted to ask. What is one movie that gives you motivation? Like
That gives me motivation.
Yeah. And I'm not even saying you have to watch the entire thing, but like you could go back and look at like a clip of the movie, and and that gives you motivation.
Man, that gives me motivation. I mean, just a movie off the top of my head. Don't Be a Menace.
Don't Be a Menace.
Don't Be a Menace to Society. Not like motivation to get up and like go hard and do something, but like a motivation to not end up in a particular circumstance.
Yeah.
Because if you've seen that movie, it's about like these kids in high school, graduating high school or whatever, but they're stuck in their environment. They might want something else, or they might not even know what they want. They just know that they want something different, but they don't know anything different. That's the life that they've seen. That's the life that they've grew up in. And they just so happen to be in a bad neighborhood with all these things going around. And by the time, and correct me if I'm wrong, but by the time the main character realizes what he wants and what he's trying to do, it's too late.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's too late. You can't even. I mean, I ain't gonna spoil the movie. It's an old ass movie, so if you haven't seen it, it's on you. But I'm not gonna spoil it for you. But that's just one of the movies. Another movie, I guess, would be The Blind Side. I know it's came out that those events aren't entirely true, but let's just take the movie for what it is.
Yeah,
it was like that's for me. I can definitely see people being motivated and inspired by just the events in the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, even just outside of football, but just like the concepts within that movie. But I mean, like I said before, it was a place that he didn't want to be in, but he also didn't know anything else.
Yeah.
And then it was like, that's another movie to where like you can not know anything, you cannot know any better, and still make it to the other side of a particular struggle.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, it was Rocky IV.
Ooh, Rocky IV. Okay.
Probably one of my favorite movies.
I gotta go back and watch them all. But yeah.
That one's one of my favorites. And sometimes I'll even go back and watch clips and I'm like, man, it gets me going. It's definitely one of my favorites.
What was that one where the dude was like, there is no tomorrow?
I think that's Rocky IV, isn't it?
You tell me.
Well,
you like the movie. Is it Rocky IV? Do you know, editor?
It's 3.
3?
I know it's one of them, but I haven't seen Rocky IV in a minute.
I think Rocky 2 is the best, bro.
Rocky 2.
Now that's the one I haven't seen in a long time, but I'll have to watch that one. But Rocky IV is the one that's just like when he goes and fights that Russian. That's like, I think he was taking steroids or something, and that was, man, it's just, and like they keep giving him motivation to keep going, and it's great.
What's a goal that you wanna pursue? Cause I know we've talked like off camera, and you're not really sure. You're trying to get it together.
Yeah.
I know you want to go to the gym, but like, what's something else? Like just even off the top of your head, what's something tangible that you could see yourself pursuing?
For me, I think it's gonna be a change of career. I want to do something.
No shit. No shit.
I know. Yeah. Because, I mean, nobody wants to work where we work, you know.
I mean, people swear by it.
Yeah, but it's not fun. I want to do something I enjoy, you know. Like what I said earlier is, if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
Good.
You know, I want to go do something I enjoy and I love. And through our work, you know, they offer this tuition assistance program. So I'm thinking about going back to school if that's something, you know, that's doable. But it's
video editing, man. Like we talked about, bro. Just go take a class, gosh damn it.
Well, it's either I haven't, and the thing is I haven't found it yet. Like exactly what I want to do.
Write it down, man.
Yeah.
You've been saying all these things that you haven't freaking done, and I'm like, I can only tell you so many times.
For me, I need to take that first step, but also want to find, like, so I need to write it down, but I want to find, I guess, just write down ideas of what I want to do.
And then you can narrow it down from that.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, I'm not really feeling this. I'm not really feeling this.
And think about but that's kind of where I want to go from that. And of course, you know, raise a healthy child with
Absolutely. With the mother.
yeah, with like I said, because we just got engaged last week, so I'm happy about that. So, and then marry her, and I think after our lease is up in this apartment, we want to try to maybe buy a house or something.
Buy a house? Where at?
Not
Independence.
Not Independence. I want to get out of Independence. I'm thinking more north, but
Okay.
I'm sure I'll still be working at the plant for now. So
Don't make it a 2-hour drive.
no.
Like some people we know.
Yeah.
You're like, damn,
No
I
way.
really need the money, huh?
No way.
2-hour
Yeah,
drive.
it'll be out of Independence and it'll be north or south or I'm not sure. We're still working. So that's the goal.
So what do you think of the podcast, man? I know we were talking the other day, mess around, be a co-host or something, because I know you wanted to be on a podcast, or you wanted to be like having experience and work within that kind of realm.
Yeah.
So what are you thinking?
I mean, I do it because that obviously for me that's a risk, with having a family and trying to manage that. But I think it's a risk I'd have to take, because it's obviously something I want to do.
Right.
Who knows where it could take me?
Yeah. We might be saying some stuff on the podcast, and somebody will see it and reach out and be like, "Hey, I heard you want to do this.
Yeah,
Here's an opportunity." Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely.
We're gonna have to get you on another episode, man.
Absolutely.
This was a great first episode, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate you. Thank you for coming through.
Yeah, not a problem at all. Thanks for having me.
This has been the Other Side Podcast with your host, Trey Starr. Thank you guys for staying till the very end. If you want more content just like this, stay tuned, man. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to all my channels on every platform that I have this out on, man. We got more content coming soon, man. Thank you very much. Deuces.